I woke up one day and I knew that something had to give. Here I was staring at 40 years old right around the corner, single, working harder than ever at work, but still feeling frustrated and unfulfilled. I was at a point where I knew that something had to change. At first, for me, that didn't mean figuring out my religious beliefs. It meant I started trying to do the things I was already doing better. And I started doing all of that, and I really followed through, but it still didn't make me feel any better. I still felt this void, and I couldn't fill it. I was realizing that I couldn't fill it with self-discipline any more than I could fill it with self-indulgence. So I was just kind of drifting along. And then one weekend, I went to 2 funerals in 2 days, and that ended up being a pivotal moment for me. Driving home from the second funeral, I actually found myself breaking down, weeping in the car. I started wondering what my own funeral was going to be like. And then, even more importantly than that, I wondered what was going to happen to me when I died. I knew that things in my life had to change, that my priorities were wrong. I needed to fix them before it was literally too late. So I consciously decided that I was really going to figure out what I believed about God. So I took this on like a mission. I started asking my friends and family members what they thought about God, what were their beliefs. One person I thought to ask was a colleague of mine, Brian. I knew Brian was very religious and also that he had a science background, used to be a chemistry teacher. So I figured he would be a guy whose religious beliefs were well thought out and that he could answer some questions for me. So I asked Brian if we could go get lunch one day so I could ask him about his faith, and he said yes right away. Basically, any doubt you've ever had or any reason you've ever come up with of why the story of Christ can't be true, I asked him about it. And he had great answers for a lot of it, and for other stuff he pointed me to books. So at this point, I had a good list of books going that he and others recommended that I started reading through to try to help me with my questions. Brian and I started going to grab breakfast or lunch or coffee or something like that once a week or so. And after a couple of months, I told him that I was feeling like I was getting stuck. Like I was trying to approach faith as a scientific investigation, and I was just getting bogged down. So one of these weeks, Brian asked if I had tried scrapping all of these other books about Christianity, faith, skepticism, anything like that, and just tried reading the Bible. And for me, it was really a dumb moment. So he gave me a copy of the Gospel of John, and I started reading it. At that point, this rational pursuit I had been on became a little different somehow. Not that the rational part of my brain wasn't thinking about things, but the lens with which I viewed things changed. And I knew that there were certain things I was never going to be able to explain or prove or disprove. I just had to choose to believe. And it wasn't an overnight thing for me. For me, it still took months for me to come around, and lots of reading of the Gospels and discussion, even binge watching The Chosen. But eventually I did open my eyes and fully came to recognize and accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I opened my heart, I asked God to forgive me, and it was very emotional. My life changed at that moment. I've always searched for purpose, and the main way that I tried to find that purpose was through work. But even after pouring everything I had into it, it still left me empty. And so now I still want my kids to be proud of me. I still want to be a good husband. I still want to be a good dad, a stepdad. I still want to be good at my job. I still want to make a difference. But now I know that the best way for me to accomplish all of those things is by surrendering my life fully to Jesus and following Him. That's my top priority. That's what I think about when I pray in the morning. That's what I want my kids and my wife to see when they look at me. And that does fill my soul. Don't get me wrong. I still work hard and exercise and practice guitar, all of those things. But I do them so I don't waste the life that God has given me, and so that I honor His gift of forgiveness. And that makes everything I do more satisfying, more fulfilling, and more fruitful. To people out there who haven't yet accepted Christ and asked God for forgiveness, or maybe you're taking another look, I would say you will never find the fulfillment in life we are all looking for without it. The fruits of the Spirit fill that void unlike anything else you try. Don't wait until you feel like you deserve to be saved. You can never do enough to deserve it, but by His grace, you are redeemed.